more or less. All right, good evening, everyone, here and at home. Welcome to the Monday, April 14th meeting of the Lunenburg Planning Board. We are here at our beautiful town hall, second floor meeting room. And if you want to join us tonight, you can do so by Zoom. And to do that, go ahead and get the agenda off the town website, find the link and phone number there. You could also if you're watching us already, you're watching us on Facebook Live or on PAC, or you could come on downtown. Love that people are joining us, and this meeting is being recorded. I am required to say that, and I believe that's everything. So without further ado, if there's someone who wants to lead us in the pledge, we can do that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have a fairly comparatively brief agenda tonight. There's a welcome change from recent months. Don't worry, it'll pick back up. And first, I would see if we have any public comment. If you're on Zoom and want to make public comment, go ahead and use that hand raise feature. That lets us know you want to speak. Seeing none, I'll move us forward. If it's taking you a moment to figure it out, just go ahead and get your hand up anyway, and we'll get to you. No worries. Okay. Chair report. Sorry, I was getting one more thing in my notes before I forgot to cover it. So, as some are aware, at this time, our land use director is unavailable. To that end, I am filling in extra down at the planning office as board chair to help keep things running smoothly. That means call the planning office anytime like you normally might, because Logan's there and he is fantastic. If you are looking for me in particular sitting in that role, feel free to call ahead and make an appointment, but I'm there right now the gross majority of mornings. Next week, school vacation, a little more dicey, but otherwise I am there in the morning into the early afternoon most days. I want to tell the board that I got an email from a Mr. Andrew Woods representing the club. Would be the teen center or the Boys and Girls Club previously, and they were wondering if the planning board would like to field a team. They were hoping we would field a team for their annual fundraiser, Are You Smarter Than a Sixth Grader? It is Friday, May 9th at 6:30. I'm saying that now because I want to give a shout out to the fundraiser too. It'll be at the middle high school. And board, it's not actual business, so we can coordinate. We're allowed to coordinate that on the side and figure out if we have people to field the team. I've been doing, things in the office are going fine. Everything's going smoothly. Applications are coming in. They're getting addressed. We're getting some of our other obligations out in terms of things like the subsidized housing inventory, making sure that goes to the state and other requests in a timely manner. That's all happening fine. I did want to let us know that when Chris was available, he signed us up with a contractor whose name, I feel bad because I keep forgetting their names. Let me grab that. Community Scale. To help us with the MBTA communities. Just kind of as some background info, we're up against the end of the clock on this one. it is what it is. Community Scale will be coming in to help us, and this is specifically, y'all likely remember, MRPC came in with some preliminary work saying, here's some potentially good locations in town that could be used in varying ways to comply with MBTA communities, be that with direct compliance or with paper compliance or some combination in between.
It's done.
So what Chris did, and he had mentioned it to us in passing, like at the meetings, but to flesh it out, we will be, Community Scale will be working with us to take some of those options as well as one location that Mr. Riley had identified as another possibility in town. And they're going to present those to us as options because the MRPC wasn't enough. It was just, hey, here's some areas, now you need legwork. This is the contractor to do the legwork. The challenge is by our June 23rd meeting, we're going to have an answer. The good news is the reason for that is, I don't know if you can even just, oh, got it. The good news from that is that they will be able to, once we pick our location, and I'll talk about what later, just what the timelines look like now. But once we pick the location, they go off for the summer, do all the legwork. They write the bylaw, they then take the bylaw, the zoning bylaw, bring it to HAC and the other organizations and make sure that it's going to be approved by the state. Because sometimes you put these things together and the state looks at it and says, no, that doesn't count. They handle all of that legwork and hand us a state-approved bylaw that will, whatever option we choose, meet those needs. There's always the question of, there are some communities that are choosing to not comply with the bylaw. I am going to be meeting, once we get the next office hours for town council, that is on my list of questions for town council. What does it mean to not comply? What does it mean? Because I know people in town have at times, and some members of the board have expressed interest in that. And I think we need to have that answer so we can make educated decisions. But they will be presenting the options to us May 12th. We do not have a second May meeting because it coincides with Memorial Day. But I was speaking some with the town manager, and I would recommend that, I don't think one planning board meeting is enough for the town to feel like they have input in this process, where we have public discussion. It would be my intent, if the board is good with it, to have a couple other public info sessions where we can those who want to be there, we don't need to have the whole board, show the options to the community, gather feedback. And I can throw together a couple exercises to help people think about it and give feedback in a measured and thoughtful way. And because you want people to actually think. You don't want, like, shooting from the hip, fine. Thinking before you shoot from the hip is often a better choice, in my estimation. That's kind of where we've landed. Based on where everything is when I went into the office. I am super open to feedback on that process. The timing of them coming in and when they need our vote by are fairly set in stone with the contract. So there's not a ton of flexibility here.
So it sounded,
Yeah, go ahead, please.
so it sounded like by our second meeting in June, they want to get off and go run with it. So
Yes.
So we've got one May meeting, we've got 2 June meetings, so that only gives us 3 total, right?
Yep, and that's why I would recommend that we also, we as the board members, I would encourage us to attend them, but people have lives and I respect that. I think having a couple public info sessions that aren't a planning board meeting where we're sitting up here and then they come and say they speak here. It works. I think we'll be better served with the community by having a more discourse-based, like some of the earlier master plan sessions were, that were better at kind of soliciting some feedback, as well as back and forth communication, because you can have an opinion, but sometimes when we talk, our opinions change. I know that I've had opinions on what might be a good choice for the town. They've certainly been changed recently by discussing with others who knew more about some of the nuances. I'd like to give everyone that option. But yeah, no, by the end of June, they need an answer because they need time to draft the bylaw, go to the state, and make sure the state's cool with everything. And if not, fix it so they're giving us a completed piece of paper so we can have our public hearing in the fall, the mandatory one for the warrant, and then get it on town meeting in the fall.
So when do you anticipate having like the public information sessions?
Say that again?
When would you anticipate having the public's?
Honestly, my goal would be to look at the calendar, try to find days with the lowest volume of town government individuals in other meetings, because, I mean, let's be honest, I hope other people are involved. Realistically, we know that people who are already involved are likely to continue to be involved. So I think that's a good litmus. I don't have that answer yet because I haven't really reviewed the dates. I will certainly have those dates before our May meeting. You know what? I can ask, I will double check to make sure it's not an open meeting violation, but it shouldn't be, and to my knowledge is not an open meeting violation, for us to email and discuss dates of a meeting. That is scheduling, that is not deliberation, and is generally allowed. So, once I have some dates, I will, unless I'm told I can't, and then I'll let you know I can't. I will disseminate those out to the board, and we can have a discussion about those dates. If that works.
Mr. Chair, if I may, on the
Please.
OML concern specifically, and this isn't I'm not a lawyer, but I was at a webinar for that recently, and it did include that scheduling discussions, like an email to the full body, if everyone can meet at 6, is allowed, but nobody can respond with anything of substance, like yes, and we should, blah, blah, blah.
Yes. No, thank you, and that matches my understanding, but thank you for the clarification. Now, once we have dates set, that doesn't mean at our May 12th meeting, we can't do some hashing out of what that might look like. I'm happy to work on that with one other board member, because that doesn't hit quorum if we want to handle it that way, or I'm happy to sketch that out and run with it if that's what we need. But I'm happy to bring ideas to the May 12th meeting.
And we would have at least one of those public meetings prior to the May 12th meeting?
I'm sorry?
We'd have at least one of those meetings, the public meetings prior to the May 12th meeting?
They would have to be after the May 12th meeting, because we need to get and we need to hear from community scale what option, that we need to hear their presentation of options.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the value, if we did have one prior, it may have them engaged prior to that meeting, because that'll be a very substantive meeting, and they may be engaged a little bit more and have specific questions at that point.
I hear you on that. I don't know. Let me loop back with community scale. I don't know if the meeting, I don't know, with everything they're doing for us, which is a lot. Everything in my chair's report. Am I missing anything from the Office of Substance right now?
No.
Okay. Nice. All right, I'm going to move us on then, if that works. We have an A&R for 60 Cross Road.
That is correct. The paper plans should be over with Mr. Allison. I have the Mylar here as well.
Love it, and I'm going to... Great, and take it away when you're ready.
Okay. This is Ian Hazelton from Hannigan Engineering on behalf of Cross Street Realty Trust. The current property is shown as parcel 12, map 99. Currently has approximately 534 feet of frontage on Cross Road, approximately 6 acres of land, 4.63 being of upland. Currently, there's a single-family house there. So it's the intent to create 2 lots from the existing parcel, lot 12A and 12B shown on the plan. Frontage will continue on Cross Road. 12A will have approximately 314 feet of frontage and 3.48 acres of land, 102,000 being of upland. 12B will have approximately 219 feet of frontage with total area of 2.52 acres and 98,000 of upland. And then the existing house will be on 12B and will conform to the zoning, the setbacks.
All right. What questions do we have?
Is there sewer available to that parcel?
I believe there is in the street.
There is, okay.
No.
So no septic bound.
Yep. That reminds me, I'll ask, again, the results of whatever the answer is doesn't really impact, because with an A&R, and I say this as much for our friends at home, so who are watching, who don't deal with A&Rs every day. We sometimes ask some questions that aren't really going to impact our decision, but we tend to bring them up because we have had cases where applicants and their engineers have accidentally created an issue for themselves, and we hate to put people in that position. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't impact the decision. You did submit to the Board of Health and got a response?
I believe so.
Okay.
We did.
Great, perfect, wonderful. And again, that happens because we've had people space themselves out of septic and then really messes up a plan. Great. I see frontage. I see, yeah, plenty of area. Anything else? All right. I would look for a motion such as to endorse the A&R plan for 60 Cross Road as presented.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. Thank you. And we can get that Mylar signed right now, so you can have it in hand.
Perfect. Thank you.
Today, the 14th? Yes. that, and then I'll hand the pen separately.
You're welcome.
Great, thank you very much. Can we get Logan's pen back here so we don't forget? Because I will forget. There you go. Thank you. All right, that's our A&Rs. And public hearings, we have no public hearings tonight. How rare. Decisions. Did you get through all three?
Yes, they should be in the SharePoint. Let me know if they're not. Yeah, they're all there. The hard copies are over with Mr. Allison. This is my first crack at these, but I think I have the format and such down. And if there's any minor, feedback that needs to be incorporated tonight, that should be totally doable. I don't think we'd need to go to another meeting for it.
So the three decisions before us are for 1523 Mass Ave, for the special permit for the common driveway?
Yep.
Is that right? 485 Leominster Shirley Road for the site plan approval, and 994 Northfield for site plan approval.
I'm not sure if I got the one for 1523 printed.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay, I'll print that right now.
Thank you, sir.
Wait a minute, there are two here.
Oh, and also there's the decisions for 494 Electric Ave in the far back there. At the last meeting, I had erroneously told Matt that those were absorbed into the prior public hearing, because that's what happened for 213 Electric Ave, where the hearing was finished, the decision was right there, and it was signed then. When I got back to the office the next day, we had 2 signed copies of 213 Electric, so I'm thinking that one of those may have just been what was supposed to be 494, but I have those decisions here for signature tonight.
Okay. I encourage people just to say questions or anything as we go. I do see that we have the special conditions on 994 Northfield.
Thank you.
as people read through, once you kind of feel you've read through and feel comfy, just kind of make eye contact with me so I know, so I have a clue where we are in the reading process.
Procedurally, I'm just going to mention, I don't think I'm eligible to sign any of these three.
I do not believe you are, no, because you were not there for the decisions.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, thank you. All right, great. Do we have any concerns or anything with the decisions as written? I want to say it here now because I want it to be in public while recorded. If Logan's ears were burning earlier today, this afternoon, after I left the office, it's because I was discussing with people how much one of his skills is documenting process clearly, and that's been such a help recently in the office too, so thank you, sir. And like I said, reading through the decision, I'm like, oh, this happened, then this happened, this happened. I'm like, this might take one sheet of paper more than normal, but man, I really can follow this so smoothly. All right, sounds like we are good to sign.
Awesome. In that case, Sharpie should work.
Well, we have other
You got
cards here,
pens.
so.
I think, yeah, those are down.
Do you want me to pass? Which one would you like to start with, Mr. Chair?
Let's start with 1523 Mass Ave.
Okay, what's that one?
Thank you for asking that question so we don't sign the same one twice and not sign it like we managed last time. After that one, let's do 485 Leominster Shirley Road. And then 994, Northfield.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, to your comment about Logan, it sounds to me as though he is certainly smarter than a sixth grader.
I would have no problem. They're looking for 3 or 4 of us total. I would have no problem it being the planning office instead of the planning board and bringing, or I don't care what you say, planning board, and bring Mr. O'Connell in with us anyway. If you have a desire to volunteer on a Friday night,
When is it again?
May 9th.
9th? Could do that. I might be going to Porch Fest in Somerville the next day, but that sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Are we good?
Cool. Yeah, the only other thing would be 494 Electric Ave. That was meant to be
okay.
endorsed last meeting.
So that also needs to be, that decision needs to be passed and
There's
signed.
2 decisions. Do you know if they're different?
No. So one is the stormwater, one is the site plan approval, and one has the new formatting because the text is still the same as Mr. Riley's original draft, but the one that was at the meeting that night, I believe, didn't have the revisions from Attorney Avini baked in. That was swapping condition like 16 and 17, the order of them. He had presented those to you that night. It just wasn't baked into that document, so that reflects that. And then the other one is completely untouched as is.
Okay, great.
So which one would you like to do first?
Whichever one you hand, as long as they both get done, I think it's fine this time.
Stormwater, Glenn's already signed it. I believe
Okay.
Megan's already signed it.
Thank you.
And likewise with these 2. Look at this.
Yep, I'll grab that.
All right, I think we are good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, give me 1 second to call back up the agenda. Board discussions. Again, I kind of gave us that unless they're a bit in the chair report, but office is moving along. Everyone in Ritter is being tremendously helpful in making sure that everything gets done in a timely and complete way. Oh, that reminds me, I am going on some of the stuff the land use director would normally do, like go on site walks in for the pre-construction meeting and everything, and to verify like stormwater set up correctly. I am going on those with Brian, our building commissioner. We're always welcome to go on those. So if you're like, man, I really want to go on site walks in the middle of the day, I'm happy to email you when they get scheduled. Let me know. But that's the kind of stuff that's normally done by our representative, and right now I'm that representative.
I'd like to mention, I think simply by virtue of you being the chair, I don't think that we need to, but I think we do need to sign, the board needs to sign a document for the land use director to be our designee, I believe, but I think simply since you're the chair, I think that.
Okay. I will follow, let me add a note. I wanted to get that in my notes before I forgot to type it in, then it won't exist. I'm relying very heavily on notes right now. Matt, I will follow up on that, because if we do need to.
I don't think we do.
I don't think, I do, because it's like the board or its representative, designated rep, but I want to follow up on that anyway, because I don't remember us ever signing anything for a representative to do that stuff. So it doesn't mean we shouldn't be.
Okay.
I could also just be mistaken in my memory. That's happened all the time. Before I move us on, do we have any other board discussions? I mean, there's time for board comment concerns, but where we don't have any formal discussions set, I just wanted to see if there's anything else we need to touch base on, because this is when we can stop and meet, right? Because of core open meeting rules, everything else. It's a little harder because we don't get to just funnel everything through in a legitimate way, but we each talk individually, and land use director might say, hey, could we put this on the agenda? If there's nothing, great. All right. Logan, anything we need to know from other communities?
Not that I have seen, no.
Great. Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Committee reports at 6:37. This is lovely.
Don't jinx it.
This is just a light season right now. I will take it. Master Plan Steering Committee.
We had a meeting last week. We have another few meetings coming up in quick succession. Trying to plan for another public community engagement. We have another meeting coming up next week, and then I think another one 2 weeks after that. And I cannot remember offhand when the next community engagement is supposed to be, but I think it's 2 months out from now.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yep.
Great. I know the gunning is before the end of the school year there. Love it. Open Space Committee.
We have not met since the last meeting. We did try to meet, but didn't have quorum.
Okay. Mr. Allison, you used to serve on Open Space. Did Adam go to Open Space meetings?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't remember him being at the open space meeting.
Okay, I know the land use director used to hit some meetings, not others, and I didn't know where that one fell. I'm trying, again, just trying to make myself as a representative of the office available at more of the meetings, so that can just be hopefully an easier thing.
I do believe that is a subcommittee of the planning board.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Glenn, if they want the office represented beyond you, I'm happy to swing down. And that's kind of across the board right now. This level of participation continues until my wife and children say no more. But they are being very good sports. Municipal Building Design Committee.
We met last Monday. The brunt of the discussion was at the request of the select board. We have a discussion about the disposition of the Brooks House. We did take a formal vote, and as we did last year, the majority of the group is still in favor of demolition. They wanted us, the select board had asked that group to give some kind of a suggestion or recommendation as far as lease or sale. And again, the majority of the group recommended demolition. We did go on to speak about the warrant article. We're going to kind of loosely put it together and send it around and then have comments go back to the chair. We did decide, I'm pretty sure we did decide, I don't think we took a vote on it, but we did decide to ask for the monetary ask at town meeting. We're going to go with the exact figure that was quoted on their cost estimate, which was something shy of 23 million, but it was to the dollar figure. So we're just going to pass that on for the ask.
All right, thank you. Capital Planning Committee has not met. I'm not even sure. Last time I told you that we got together and met with the town manager about a few little, did I not? Because I'm trying to think if that was since our last meeting.
I had just finished the minutes on this, and I believe it was that you had reviewed the interim town manager's
yes.
sort of bullet points for the new town manager.
Yes, okay, good. I had the moment like, I don't know when that was. Great, that was before our last meeting. You've heard it from me. Thank you, Logan. Then we have not met. Economic Development Committee.
They are still wrestling with the concerns of, or the perception, reality, or otherwise, if Lunenburg is, friendly to attracting new business. And we were hoping to get off the ground with like a workshop or forum with the land use director and the building inspector. But, obviously that's taken a bit of a backseat. But I was glad to see that you had a meeting, the chair had a meeting with the LBA.
Yes.
Because I have also reached out to them with emails saying, that like a little bit more, boots on the ground, get a real feel for what the obstacles and that they're running into, so that we can, address them as much as we can informally, because there seems to be a lot of hesitation on the part of, whoever these businesses are that are having issues, to bring them forward and have, it's almost as if they were afraid of retribution or something from the town, which of course is concerning. So I think by us individually reaching out and having conversations with them and having them educate us and us educating them, I think will be take a huge step forward. So I do appreciate you having been at that last meeting, which I was not at, but I will be at the next meeting and have opened up a line of communication with the LBA. And I think we can handle a lot of those issues and put a friendly face to the town of Lunenburg and again, address these concerns, maybe just some misunderstandings and whatnot. And I look forward to hopefully getting a better grasp or grip on exactly what those issues are, and the EDC is, really focused on that, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to try to help them along. And I think, they also have Open for Business, which I've seen a couple of the episodes on PAC, which were actually pretty good, and they're highlighting local businesses here in Lunenburg. So I would certainly recommend people seek out those shows, and there'll be more to come on those shows, which I think are a great idea.
Great. And thank you. LBA, again, I just trying to scream out at you everything I think of that I have done recently, because I don't want to feel like anything's behind closed doors. Yeah, they were looking for advice, and the advice I gave as board chair was for young entrepreneurs, think coming out of college, trying to start their first business. And the advice I had is one I'd have for anyone looking to start a business in town, which is once you're at the point you've got a business plan. Like once you're serious, you know what you want to do, come to the Ritter Building before you start doing stuff. Like just stick your head in, say hi, ask a couple questions, because depending upon the business, planning or building commissioner for almost anything, or health department, may be able to give some quality feedback. And I think of some of the, where we even had a restaurant before us months prior to now, who wound up having to switch locations based on some Board of Health requirements. I just like to think that maybe we could help people avoid some of those stumbling blocks and point them in the right direction early so they can be successful. Love it. Thank you. Stormwater Task Force.
We'll be meeting next week.
Okay, great. Did Adam used to attend those or no?
Yes.
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 Okay. I'll get the date from you later, Tim, and if I can be there, and if you think it'd be helpful for me to be there, I'm happy to be, but we'll figure.
Yep.
Massachusetts Regional Planning Commission.
Nothing to report. I was unable to attend that meeting.
Okay. Massachusetts Joint Transportation Committee.
Nothing to report for that one. It was mostly choosing new members, new hierarchy. I can't think of the word.
Reorganization.
Reorganization.
Yes.
That's the one. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, the MJTC reorg meeting is one of the driest.
It's bad.
All right, minutes approval for March 24th, 2025. I'll take a motion when people are ready. Not looking to rush you. I see people looking at each other, so I think we're in a position to, yeah, I said it earlier, sorry. I will take a motion when people are ready.
I'll motion to approve the planning board minutes for our March 24th, 2025 meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, very good. Meeting schedule. Meetings take place at 6 PM at Town Hall, the second floor meeting room, unless otherwise noted. That includes April 28th and May 12th, with a note that our third, we don't normally look 3 meetings ahead, but reminding the public, our second meeting in May would normally be on what is this year, Memorial Day. So as of now, there is no meeting scheduled. Just looking ahead. Public comment. There is no public here. There is no public on Zoom. There we go. Board comment or concerns? Please.
Since it's still light out and it's early, I think I can go off on a little bit of a tangent. No, just something I shared, experienced I had recently as a citizen and a customer of Low Places Ranch. They had an event, Come Talk Poultry Seminar. And it's a very popular event. In fact, last year we went because we were entertaining getting involved or getting chickens. And this year we're looking to get re-engaged with chickens after the massacre that occurred on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
But they held the event, interestingly, at 494 Electric Ave, if you sounds familiar, Il Forno. So that was my first time being at Il Forno as a customer. So they had the event inside their function room, and it was, I would say, it was a free event, so it wasn't sold out, but I would say it was at capacity, and we parked in the dirt lot. And so it gave me a different perspective of how that business operates, at its peak, and that it was really awkward being in the dirt parking lot and people parking happenstance. So it was a good perspective for me to see, again, how that operates at full capacity. And it really also was just a great example of 2 Lunenburg businesses working together and succeeding. And, I look forward to that and would encourage people who are looking for information on chickens. It's a great event, assuming they have it again next year. But the experience reassured me that the upgrades that the business owner is making to the property is truly a betterment to the property. And, it'll be interesting as time goes on to see it progress, and then, of course, the final product, just to see how it addresses the concerns. I can reflect upon the concerns that I had in looking at the final product. So, it's just a good example of the, a Lunenburg business spending the capital to address a known issue, and it did, again, give me a different perspective, and is why I actually would appreciate, going on some site walks early on in the process, as I try to wrap my head around, what exactly the impact of what we're doing here. And, it was an impactful moment for me, and it'll be, like I said, it'll be interesting to see the completed project. It'll clearly be a lot better than the current situation.
Great, thank you. I was going to make a comment, but I realized I could just come out as me as a public official, totally just like being really gung-ho about specific products at low places. I probably shouldn't do that. But no, I've got, I like seeing businesses work together. I like seeing us involved. If you need an incubator or anything, let me know. Mine's not currently.
Oh, you need chickens first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the incubator. No, I think they're going to come in the mail.
Okay, got it. All right. So, rock and roll. Any other board comment concerns? Hearing none, I would look for a motion to adjourn. If you do it quickly, it'll be before 7. That's pretty tight.
Motion to adjourn April 14th meeting of the planning board.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. We got in before the bell finished ringing, everybody.